Hey,
We were
Steve, will
laughing
you do
so
me
hard
a
back
favor?
there.
Steve, will you do me a favor and tell everyone in the group chat that we're back for me so that they know? Would you do me a solid? I'd appreciate
Right. I'm crying.
it. And lucky number 3 is all right, Anika.
It's all good. It's all good. So, Inja had me dying backstage. We
I'm
were
so
trying to figure it
sorry.
out. Tell him, Inja.
It was 100% my fault. So I couldn't hear myself or see myself. And I
Uh,
saw the button at the bottom, the big red button. I should have realized because it was red that normally means don't touch. But I touched it, thinking that it would just exit me out so that I could like
mm-hmm.
re-enter. Well, it ended the entire stream. And so then I saw at the top it said ended and saw Sheena's face afterwards, and I was like,
I was
"Oh
like,
fuck, she's gonna kill me." I just ended the stream completely. And so Sheena was backstage doing her Sheena thing and making
I'm
it so
dead.
that we could have the stream again. So your dumpster fire is so sorry. But hopefully it's all
I told him, Brandy, gonna stop fucking with us, dude. He's gonna be like,
Ever.
I'm good. I'm like, valid. But no, okay. So here what would it be without us totally
yeah.
bombing stuff? Okay,
I
come
mean,
on now, Inja.
we
That's
are
us.
like we're 30 minutes past the time we were supposed to start, and we still haven't even mentioned the book. Like, I don't even think we've told them the name of the book yet.
It was in the
That
intro.
part.
It was in the
It
intro.
was.
Oh, it
They've
was.
seen it 2 times now, so they should know.
So yeah.
That's probably as far as we'll get this episode. So on part 2, we will actually review.
Oh my god.
We're gonna air both of them. Not him. We don't need that. Oh my goodness. Uh, Um, I hate her. Like,
Honestly, we are the big T's.
right? Let's go. Okay, so Pride Month, first Friday. We're trying to show you a really good book. Okay, and it just happened to be. It happened to have everything. A little bit of
Yeah.
horror, a little bit of boy love, a little bit of everything. A lot of heart, everything. So yes, so
A little bit of
and we
sticking
are
your hand
talking
in somebody else's
that
belly,
part.
like really getting intimate with it.
How else do you do the deed? I thought that's what the birds and the
Right?
bees was about.
Right, that part. And we
Never
are
have I
talking
ever
about
and then somebody
stupid. And we are talking about
that's gonna be
no
my
other
thing.
than what'd you say, Ida?
Oh, that's gonna be my thing. Like if I ever play that game again, never have I ever felt somebody else's guts. Like, like
Uh-oh.
a little too rated R.
I hate her. Oh, Inja, you killed me. So yeah, we are presenting the Summer Hikaru Died. There is so we're only going to go over volume 1 today. Okay. Let me see if
That's
my
all
little
we
fat fingers will allow me. I'm dead. Yep. Inja, you wanna take this part away? You wanna do this part?
Yeah. Okay, so
Can you see it?
excuse me if I get it wrong because I'm not sure
Okay.
if it's Hikaru or Hikaru. I don't know.
I think we're going with Hikaru.
Hikaru? Okay.
Hikaru. Yeah.
The Summer Hikaru
Yeah.
Died is a Japanese manga series written and illustrated by I know why you told me to take this part.
Yeah.
You ain't shit.
There you
Yeah,
go.
there you go, babe.
Serialization on how Shonen Young Ace up in August 2021.
I'm dead.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yep. And then there's right now in the States there's only three.
Mm-hmm.
But all of it was collected in 5 volumes. And the anime just dropped. I mean, the anime announcement just dropped last month.
Yes.
So
So excited.
yes. And then I
There
was
are big
reading
things
too that
happening in the anime community right now. Like, I'm so pumped for. They're just like making
hmm
animes out of everything. Like, I can't
yes,
wait.
yes, I know. And then the person that wrote this, they were in high school when they got this idea to make this book.
Oh.
And then they were they began drawing on Twitter about these
Mhm.
characters and stuff, and then they got picked up. And then they are fans of like the Manga Weekly Shonen Jump, and they love Tokyo Ghoul. I thought you would love that. Love that.
Mm.
But
Me
yeah,
too.
they were in high school thinking about this shit, and then I think within the first month that it was like released, uh, it sold over like 200,000
Oh
copies
wow.
within the first couple of days or something like that. The first month or something like it was something insane. So, and then when they announced it here that they were putting it in the States in English, I was like, oh my gosh, I have to have this. So,
I
yeah.
remember seeing the cover for the first time and just being like, I
hmm
need that. Like I didn't even know what it was about. I'm just like, it's
Mhm.
That
so
part,
the art is so
like,
gorgeous.
so gorgeous. Look at it. So these are the three that are out. Which one's your favorite one, you think? The first one? Because it's the one that grabbed you?
Yeah, I think still the first cover is my favorite. It's just that
Yeah.
that
hmm
blue with the white is so the contrast is so good. Like you can't
Yeah.
go by
Beautiful.
this in a store and not want to pick it up.
Uh
It's
Yeah.
huh.
so pretty.
Absolutely. Which one do
I
you think,
love
Indra?
how the first one definitely for me too. But I love
hmm
how all of the covers are super bright and colorful and cheery and peppy.
hmm
Like it makes me think that the story is going to be like super lighthearted, cute, you know. But
hmm
and it's anything but like it's the complete
Right.
opposite of like what the
Right.
covers make you feel is going to happen.
Yeah.
So I really like.
It's like a slice of life that slices back
Yeah,
type thing, you know. So
Yes.
yeah.
most definitely. And I wonder how they're going to make the anime. Like, is it going to be vibrant like that? You see what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
how you get little glimpses of the first few pages and how it is, you know.
Hmm.
And
It's
is
like
it going to be bright like this, or is it going to be a lot of dark undertones under it? So I can't wait to see what it's going to look like
Yeah. I
played
say
out.
they'll probably incorporate a little of both. Like, I kind of wonder when
Yeah.
it goes between the present and the past, you know, like when he's like
Mhm.
reflecting on like how their relationship was back
Mhm.
then. Like, I don't know, it may have like a little more of that than it does like in the present.
No doubt.
I'm
Yeah,
excited for
I
how
can.
pretty it's gonna look with like some of the more melty
Yes.
visuals.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Yes. Yes. No, definitely. I am stoked for it. So, I couldn't find really any information. They just announced it. If somebody else heard it, please let us know. But I couldn't find what studio was doing it, who's behind it, or anything like that. They just dropped that it is in the works. Like it has been announced. So that's
Yeah.
cool. At least we got that. You know. So,
Yeah,
but yeah.
for sure.
but but yeah, let's see if we can get some people to get into the series. You know, by the first look of it. Okay,
Hmm.
yeah, let's break it down. So we're going to like hit a lot of highlights. We're not going to go like from panel to panel to panel, like all that. You know. So, but this is
That's
the
like
intro. This is it.
she's gonna kill me because I'm gonna stop her a lot, but
Anyways, yes, okay, then yeah, we lion. Okay, so this is actually the intro. So you get to see the two main characters sitting there together, and they're in front of a shop, like eating ice cream together, right? And then
Mhm.
it's like I thought it was the kids coming in here messing with me. It's my husband. I know. I was like, what are they doing? I thought it was a little one girl. Um, but no, you get to see them eating ice cream, and just having like a quiet moment. And they are talking about like kids from school, right? I think
Mhm.
like how they made them run and all that stuff. That's like just
Yeah.
regular kid shit.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're right. You're
Anything to
right.
say about this one? No? Okay.
I
Mm-mm.
love just
All
like
right.
the
Oh,
oh
Oh,
Brandy.
sorry.
let me go back. No, no, no.
Like
Inja, are
even
you
from
posting
the jump,
message too? Or is it just, yeah, even from the jump, what,
you
Brandy?
can see the contrast in the characters, like
Mm,
just visually how different they are, which I mean
Yeah.
obviously in the story they're such different personality types
Yes.
mm-hmm.
also. So I
Dude,
just love
Brandy, I love
all this
that.
art.
I didn't even pick that up
We,
from that, but I love that.
we got another white haired and black haired boy. Who does that remind you of?
Oh my gosh. It just works
Our
so
babies.
well.
He does.
Yes. So, yes, definitely. So then they're sitting there, and just all of a sudden he says to him, what, Inja?
Girl, you ain't the real
He says,
Hikaru.
you're really,
You're
yeah.
not the real one. He hits him
He's
with
like,
that.
what the hell? Yeah.
So
And if you
I
didn't
do want
even,
to. Sorry,
no, 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 go ahead. Go ahead.
I do want to say like up before that point. Um. So like in the panels, they're just like when they're just having a regular conversation, you have like this
Mm-hmm.
buzzing that's like going on, which are supposed to be like the cicadas because it's summertime, and like
Mm-hmm.
so that that you're seeing like written out, it's like there's
I
not a
don't know if
whole
I
lot
got
of it,
any.
and then it like
Right.
gradually progresses, and then
Mm-hmm.
like when he's like, I'm going to ask you something. It's something that I didn't just come up with. Because the tension in the story is really heavy and the question that he's about to
Mm-hmm.
ask him is really heavy on that panel, which I don't know if I can show it. Hold on, let me see if I can show it.
Yeah, I was
So,
gonna say I got you, girl.
oh, yeah.
Right.
So it's like,
Here, hold on.
it is like intense. Like they're,
How do you
uh
put,
oh,
okay.
there's so many, like it's like all over the page when before it wasn't
Mm-hmm.
like that. So I noticed like throughout the story it'll do stuff like that with like sounds of like insects or animals and stuff whenever it's getting to
Mm-hmm.
a part that's like uncomfortable or intense. It seems like sounds and stuff like that start to pick up, which like
Yeah.
add to the kind of creepiness and eeriness to it, or like that hold your breath moment, like
Mm-hmm.
how is this going to play out. So I like how they
Right.
do that because I feel like, with it being black and white anyway and not in color, and then it being like a book, like something you're reading and not watching, I
Mm-hmm.
love like how they add like those little like details and stuff
Mm-hmm.
to make you feel that sense of like unease, and
Mhm.
like it kind of
No
makes
doubt.
you stressed with it. Like they do a really good job of that.
Yeah.
So I
Right.
really like how
Somebody
they.
else who really does that, when you brought that up, what's his name that does blood on the tracks? He's really good at doing that, like
Yeah.
bringing you,
Yeah.
you feel it. He
Yes.
and his art, and less, not even words, like just that tension that he's able to put on that paper in those drawings like that. Like, yeah,
Yes.
that's
Yeah,
dope.
where he
Yes,
does
good
through like
point. And just,
facial expressions, I feel like this, like you literally can feel like you're hearing and feeling the heat, the humidity, you're
mm-hmm.
feeling the
Yeah.
Yeah,
bug. Like you could
Yeah.
smell it almost, what they're like
yeah,
that summer heat. It's very
Yes.
immersive for sure, which is great for some.
Mm-hmm.
absolutely, absolutely. Love it. So yeah, he does ask him, you're not even the real one, are you? Like, he was already getting aggravated with him before, not even aggravated, but just like every little thing that he was saying, he was fucking up. He knew that he was
Yeah.
just, yeah, I guess he was getting aggravated with the whole thing. And then this is what, tipped him to even ask him, you
Yeah.
know, and then
So then he's like, I'm supposed
slowly,
to be the perfect copy of him.
no doubt. Yeah.
And this is wild because this is what, one, two, like page 5, 6,
Yeah.
like
Mm-hmm.
right into
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. I did not expect it to like to just throw you in, hope you can swim.
Yeah.
No doubt. No doubt.
We were
I was
not
like,
used it at
what?
all.
Yeah.
And it would be dope if you didn't know nothing about it. You just picked it up, looking at the cover, you skim through this and you're like, what the fuck? Like that would definitely these first few pages just hit you hard.
Yeah.
Like, yes.
Yes.
And then so the next one,
So like
he's
in this
basically
one,
telling him, mm-hmm.
no, you go.
Go
I'm
ahead,
sorry.
Angel.
No, you go.
No,
I
no,
didn't
no.
like delay. No, go, my girl, go.
No. I did so in this panel he was telling him like, please don't say anything. I don't want to have to kill you. He goes, he's gone and I'm here now, basically. And what else does he say? He was like, "This is the first time I've lived as a human.
Mm-hmm.
Schools, friends, ice cream. I'm enjoying it all for the first time, and I'm
Mm-hmm.
borrowing a body, a personality, but the feelings are real."
Yeah.
Ugh.
So he's been gone. He's been in that body for how long? Is it 3 months? A month?
Yeah, something to that effect. Some months, I want to say.
Yeah.
But then he tells him, I don't want to have to kill you, so please don't say anything because he's fond of him. Like
Yeah.
everything that he's experiencing, he just wants to keep on. So yeah.
Yeah.
So what were you gonna say, Angela?
So I think that is like my only gripe with the story is that they've like he is kind of established a relationship with this guy,
Mm-hmm.
like as
With this
like this
energy, yeah.
will or whatever, yeah, entity or whatever that's like taken over the body, you know, but because they jump so like quickly into it, they give you like there's no really any background. I mean, even just like a little bit of background would have been
Mm-hmm.
okay, but because they jump so quickly into it, like it makes us feel like this is something that has just happened when in reality it's not. So that part, like this part that's supposed to be like deep and like like make you feel something like kind of sad or whatever, I don't feel like it
Mm-hmm.
hits hard because it's
Okay.
like I don't feel like you feel that for him
Okay.
because to us, like we haven't even like been able to see where he's like lived as human for that long. Like to us it's just
Right.
happening instead of like it's the opposite, I guess, of what they're trying to portray. So that's like my only gripe with it is like they don't give us enough time to really like feel for this character or develop I don't know. God, I'm so bad with my words.
No. I
So
totally get what you're saying. Like
yeah,
there was only like 2 pages where you actually got to see them like interact with each other. He kept correcting him because of like all the little simple things that he was saying. But
yeah,
then when you see that part, you realize that if you think about it, like he's been dealing with this shit on top. Like they'll have a moment like where everything is cool. Like he can kind of pretend that that's his friend, but then
yeah,
he remembers there's moments that this entity's like learning things for the first time and it takes him back
yes,
to already those feelings like being frustrated, being this, being that, like
yeah,
everything negative. And then those 2 panels where he was sitting there talking to him and he kept messing up on words and he kept having to correct him, knowing that his Hikaru knew these words and knew these actions and all this stuff, but this entity doesn't know
yeah,
who the hell, what he's doing. So he's
yeah,
having to like teach him, but at the same time, like the realization that his friend is not there anymore,
yeah.
So,
But it's
but yeah, I get,
I want to like feel for Hikaru, but it's hard to this early on because they just threw us
mm-hmm,
in. So it's like it just
right,
happened instead of, but like in reality, it hasn't just happened. Like he's been like
right,
that, for a little
for
bit.
months.
So, but I will say, like throughout the story, they do a better job of like kind of backtracking
Mm-hmm,
and then helping you to like have a relationship or like, develop those feelings for him as a person.
right.
It's just like starting out. Like I feel like that could have been executed a little. Like they
I
could have
feel
just
you.
given it a little bit more at the beginning. Like
Love it.
even just starting it out, like that he telling us how long or whatever. I don't know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay, Brandy, did you have any thoughts, baby?
Yeah, I mean, I get where you're definitely coming from, Inja. You really don't get too much of the character from the first couple of pages before you find out, obviously he's not who he says he is. But I
Yeah.
think that adds a lot to the feeling of uncertainty and confusion that Yoshiki is feeling because
Mm-hmm.
he has this inkling that this is not my friend who I've known forever, and he doesn't know what to do about it. And now he's finally got this courage to ask, like, you're not him, are you? And now he finds out that he's some kind, who knows what he is.
Yeah.
So us as the reader are just as confused and scared and like, what is happening that he's
Right.
doing in this moment?
I can see that.
So
So I guess
maybe
it's like because everything is still fresh for
him,
Yoshi, that
yeah,
we kind of feel that too. Like I guess it's kind of like things just happened for him, even though that they really didn't, but he's still in that
I mean,
like
this is the
brain.
moment he finds out that this first certainty that this is not his friend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I get that.
Ugh. Ugh. That's a horrible feeling, but yes.
Like,
So
it's a terrifying
then,
thing to think about.
Yeah.
but you said at any rate, Hikaru's not around anymore. If that's how it is, then I want to be by his side, even if you are fake, And he kind of like introduces himself to this entity that's calling himself Hikaru.
Yeah.
So.
And I love how, because I think originally it's like Hikaru's name in quotes, and I love how they put
Mm-hmm.
his name in
Yep.
quotes. Like it's not the real one. Like,
Yep.
Like Hikaru.
And the poor baby, he's just like tearing up inside. He's like breaking down. Like maybe that was the first time that he actually had validation. Like that is not his friend anymore, and he was holding out hope, but now it's like come crashing down to the realization that his friend is no longer here,
Yeah.
and that he's devastated. But at the same time, he's like scared to death. So let me make let me make peace with this entity that's here now. So
Yeah. And I'm
I don't
sure
know.
like that entity is like that too, because I mean, if you think about it, he's been found out. He thought that he was like getting by with like
Doing.
doing a good job. He's developing
Mm-hmm.
human emotions and human feelings that it's
Mm-hmm.
his like first time for like everything. So I'm sure he's freaked out. I feel like throughout the book we see like he's kind of overcompensating like
Mm-hmm.
for
No
that,
doubt.
like trying to like make him feel more at ease, or he's trying to be more like Hikaru so that his friend doesn't just like off and leave him or like let him go or just
Mm-hmm.
whatever. He has like built this bond or whatever with him, like
No
he
doubt.
genuinely does like him. So
Mm-hmm.
I think they're both kind of dealing with that. It doesn't really show it, I guess, from Hikaru's side, but
I feel you. So then he's going through it. He has um Yoshiki, he has like dreams of the last time that he's seen his friend, his real, the real Hikaru. And they have just like silly conversations, like, oh, you're gonna find a girlfriend one day, you're gonna forget all about me, and then he's like, oh, you're gonna come hang out this weekend, and he's like, no, like I have things to do, I'm gonna go up hiking and everything, and yeah, and it haunts him every night because that's the last time that he knew that his friend was alive before he died out there in the mountains. So
yeah. And I think like, do you all think the first like point of like
what did you say?
do you all think this is like the first point of like foreshadowing for, because like it tells us later on about the like it explains more about the whole like him going off into the mountains thing, but
Mm-hmm.
like in that panel, hold on, let me see if I can find it. In that panel it's like, because he says it's like a secret or whatever, but
Mm-hmm.
I feel like Hikaru knows, like the real one knows the reason why he's having to go up
He
into
went
the
up there.
or like has a sense of like he's supposed to go.
Mm-hmm.
Like after I'd gotten to that point where it explains it a little more about
Mm-hmm.
like his family and what's really going on, I went back and looked at that, and I don't know, to me it just seems different. Like it kind of seems to me like he knows like
Mm-hmm.
that there's something up. I don't know. Did you all feel that way at all? Or
Yeah.
Yeah, I could
I
say
just
that. Yeah,
reread it,
definitely.
and there's definitely like we get a little bit of information, but we still don't have the whole picture up and
Yeah.
through volume 3.
Mm.
We just get little bits and pieces, which is, another great way of storytelling, is to just give you a little bits of information so you get that big reveal at the end, I'm sure. But yeah, we don't
Mm-hmm.
really know exactly. We have a little bit of hints here and there as to why
Yeah.
he was up there, but nothing concrete yet.
Yeah.
No doubt. So then you get to see that it's a lot of first times for Hikaru, like them just sitting in school watching a movie that they've already seen umpteen times, eating certain foods. Like he knows that he's experienced with the real Hikaru first, but
Yeah.
at the same time, he's kind of like mesmerized by it. Like, he's teaching him new things or seeing new things through his eyes for like a second time. That's how I looked at it, because he was there for a lot of firsts for his real friend. Now he's here again around experiencing it again. So
Yeah. I also noticed that Hikaru, like the new one versus the old one,
hmm
especially after it
hmm
shows this flashback, the old one is like a little more brash and rougher.
yeah,
I think like in the way he acts, and the new one is like kind of like timid and apprehensive a little
hmm
bit. That like he doesn't come on super strong. He's not super like
yeah,
out there as far as like his jokes and stuff. Like he's more like he's kind
hmm
of sweet, and the other
yeah.
one's like, so they are so different, I feel like, in that way already. Hi Manny. Hi Louie.
Hello, hello, hello,
Morning.
hello.
Okay, sorry.
Let me see.
I'm stop
No, no,
interrupting.
no. No, and then like just another moment that they'll be cool. Like they'll be riding their bikes, they'll be going through the day, they'll be hanging out, and like it's always back to this. Like, is this fucking crazy? Like I'm entertaining this. I'm entertaining
Yeah.
this
Mhm.
whole this whole thing, instead of like being like, all right, my friend's dead. This entity maybe even have a reason why my friend is dead, like behind it, but
Yeah.
yet here I am because I don't want to let go. Like,
Yeah.
and it's easy to like keep dipping in and out of those moments with him,
Yeah.
So, and then
That
especially
part
what you were
felt
saying,
real
Angela, like
for
he's a lot more different
me.
than they may look the same, but they don't act the same. As far as you're talking about, like real Hikaru he was very childish at times. He was very childish. He was very brash. Like, and then this one is more like looking at you, paying attention to you, more timid, more, like, I don't know, centered in some ways, so.
This part, where he's like inside, like stuck inside of his own head, I feel like is so heavy.
hmm Yeah.
Like I could like feel that, because I feel like I get that way too, and it's like you have all of these thoughts running through your head 100 miles a minute, especially if it's something that you're like anxious about or like may feel like guilty over or whatever it be, and it's like you are
hmm
like all of those negative thoughts just weighing down on you and like beating down on you to the point where it's like so hard to handle. So like that, seeing that, they did such a good job, I feel like, of show of like making it realistic, of like showing what it actually may
hmm
feel like when
hmm
someone is stuck in their own head and can't get out. So I
Yeah,
really
that poor
that,
baby.
that panel.
And that's got to be a lot. Like you're a grown ass person. Do you understand what I'm saying? So imagine being a child with something that's big and something that's deep, and you can't talk to nobody about it, and you're grieving over somebody that's not here. Like it's a lot,
Yeah.
and it's a lot for an adult, let alone a child.
Yeah.
So,
What did you think,
Brandy.
Brandy?
I mean, yeah, all your points are super great. I mean, as a child, first, just like you said, Sheena, like his friend is dead. Like coming
Hmm.
to terms with that is hard enough.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
especially while he's kind of still there. So you're
Yeah.
not getting that chance to really grieve the loss of somebody who is kind of still around. And
Yeah.
then also having to deal with, I mean, one of the first things he said to him is, I don't want to have to kill you. So now that's
Yeah.
in the back
So
of
yeah,
your head also. Like, you
like
know,
I'm a fuck
there's
up,
this
and this
threat
one.
of death
Yeah.
right over your shoulder all the time in the face of your friend who you're
Yeah.
trying
Uh-huh.
to grieve, who is still around. And
Yeah.
also, you have to come to terms with the fact that
This
there is
baby.
some
Yeah.
kind of supernatural world around you.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's got to be like, I don't know how he hasn't had a full-on mental breakdown
Right.
yet.
That part.
And he can't even say anything to anybody about it because it's not like
No.
anyone would believe him anyway. Like he is literally on his own.
Yeah.
Hmm. Hmm. And it's feelings, everything. It, it it terrorizes him in his sleep.
Yeah.
He has to go through the day like, oh my God, am I gonna fuck up and
Yeah.
tell like so much stress on this baby. I'm surprised he could eat or
Yeah.
do anything, and
But that's how it
uh,
is. I feel like when you're like in the midst of like having an anxiety or panic attack, like you feel
hmm
like you're on your own anyway. So,
hmm
but I feel like that, like
yep.
they did really good. Like that was a really good correlation between the two. Like he actually him, and then his best friend will probably kill him for trying to out him. But then, like, he really is on his own too in his own head. Like,
Poor baby. A poor baby. But yeah, and then when they interact with other people, like it seems like the world is going on, but there are some some people or some beings that can feel them, like the cat. Like there's a cat that comes by that lives in the neighborhood, because they live like on a small island, correct?
Mm,
Like it's
like,
like, or
yeah,
like
some
in a,
small prefecture out in the
yeah,
country.
yeah, out in the country, like this very small community. And they got stray animals and stuff like that, but none of the animals and stuff will come to, you know Hikaru and everything. They even run into this old lady, and this old lady just starts, but yeah, he just comes to a realization that he's not him, like as they're.
yeah,
Oh
So,
my
but then they
god.
run into this old lady. They're just coming home from school, and they come and encounter with this old lady. And she just starts like screaming at them and yelling at them and just looking at him, and just like she keeps calling them this word, like like I meant to look it up, but she just keeps calling him out of his name, and he's like, she keeps like, oh, she's just crazy. Like, let's just go this way. And I love that I get this panel. I love this panel. Absolutely love this panel, because you can remember that there's something under his skin, like
yes, yeah,
something very that can be very dark and very, and
yes,
in that moment you got to really see what's laying underneath.
yeah.
And I just thought it was really drawn very well, so.
And okay, so back to what you were saying about the cat
Hmm.
and then like the old lady. I feel like when it comes to anything supernatural or like things that we aren't able to perceive or can't see, I feel like children, older people, and animals are like the
Hmm.
three that they say can sense things like that. Like they can sense if something is off or if something's not
Hmm.
what it's meant to be. So I like that they use that with like the cat. And I think that there's like some correlation between like cats and supernatural things anyway, but I like that like the cat was able to like pick up on that, like there is something that's not right, like there's something that's amiss.
Mhm.
And then like the
Hmm.
older lady, like she
Hmm.
already knew, and I don't know if that's because they say like older people are childlike, like as you get older you revert more to being like childlike, and children are able to like, or like a little more perceptive about things.
Yeah.
But like she had the same reaction as like the cat did. And then like this part right here, like I feel, you know, he's so sweet and innocent, and like
Mm-hmm.
you just have this like you just want to like, you know, like cuddle him, and like he's your small little baby. But like when you see this
Yeah.
panel, it's like you can see what's going through his head. Like I instantly knew, oh, that lady's gonna get effed up.
He's all
Like she
should
knows
I kill
what's
her
coming.
now or should I kill her later? Or...
Yeah, like she's about to get it. Like I feel like they did a really good job of showing you that like you already know what's going to happen
Mm-hmm.
going forward. And so, but it shows you like, although he's sweet and loving to like the people that are his people that he cares about, he does have
Mm-hmm.
this like darkness to him, and he will handle business if he needs to. And so you clearly see that like on the panel, like he's about to go handle some business. So I mean, he can quickly, it's scary like how quickly he can just switch from one thing to the next.
Yeah, and then he switches right back. Like he's like, "Cool beans, like let's go." And he's like, "Oh, okay."
He's already made it pretty clear. Like this is what he wants. He wants this normal life. And then anytime there's anything that reminds him that he's not normal,
it frustrates the shit out of him.
Yeah, and I love that because we do get that little bit of normalcy for a while, and then you get that little hint, like, "Hey, remember? That's not who we.
You remember?
That's not who we think it is."
I'll eat your face. You remember?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, no doubt. I love it. So, and then like he gets him home, and he's like, ask him again, is he really dead? Like, is he gone? Like this, is this absolute? There's no, he just needs that confirmation again. And then the fake Hikaru says, yes, he's gone. And what did he say? How did he say he's gone? He was like, I was there when he was about to die, before he died. Yeah. Before I knew it, I was like this.
Yeah. But I love,
but he said,
like,
there's...
because he's
no.
not human, you know, like this this little part right here shows like how he's, you know, like he hasn't really developed all of those feelings. Like he doesn't truly know what it means to have compassion or like sympathy. Like he's not really able to sympathize with his best friend, because he's like I feel like most people would be like a little more sentimental or like more reassuring or whatever, and he's like so like technical. I feel like, oh, you know, like talks about the body being warm, but it was already dead.
The body has the pulse to warm.
He was breathing his last breath, and you know, like he's not like this guy, you know, lost his best friend, someone who means so much to him, and he's but that like part just like goes over his head. Like he's not like he doesn't really have those, like he kind of has some of those human emotions and feelings, like he's developing those because he has this like attachment, but like as far as like the other stuff, like he's like robotic, I guess, almost in a sense when it comes to stuff like that. So
and like, then what did you say, Angela? I'm sorry, baby.
Oh, nothing.
No, but then he asked him, and I feel like this is like kind of like not really a turning point, but maybe like a certain turning point for them, because he confronts the real Hikaru's feelings towards his friend, towards his best friend, and he says, "So you like me?" And he tells them, "We're obsessed with you. Like I adored the shit out of you."
Yeah. But
are those his feelings that his old? Because he said he could feel, you know, the old Hikaru's like feelings and everything, but he is talking about himself too. Like we're crazy about you. We love you. Like we like you, you know. And but he knows that his friend never said anything like that to him. Like there was always that question that there could have been something there, but now he's starting to go through these feelings and everything with this person that's not even him. Like that's not even him. So that's a lot too.
I feel like those are like the new Hikaru's feelings more so than,
Yeah, because
or what
there's
I've
times like he even
are
said,
more so
yeah,
than
he was like, I don't even know where my feelings end and where his begin, like, or his ends and where mine begin, but I know that we're like on the same path as far as like how we feel about you. So
yeah,
I don't know,
because he
and it.
says, like, he speaks for himself in that part. He says he's
Mm-hmm,
crazy for him, and he's like, I do like you. So I think, like, I
mm,
feel like that may be like the new one, like his own personal feelings, and I feel like that's kind of why Yoshiki is like having a hard time with this, because he clearly, there's something deeper there, I think,
mm-hmm,
like in his relationship, like how he feels towards his best friend. And so I think like
mm-hmm,
hearing those words kind of like they hit him hard, because I think that that's kind of what he's always wanted from him. And
uh-huh,
so I think that's kind of like what's confusing him. Like I think that's why he's wanting, he wants him around anyway, but I think that that's why he's having such a hard time with like
mm,
what he should do and where he should go with
right,
this, because he has, it's like unrequited love, I feel like. So
yeah,
he has those feelings of that. And so this Hikaru is pretty much like not really confessing, but is like confessing, like, you
mm-hmm,
know, like a little obsessed with you. And so I think that that kind of like hits that part in Yoshiki's like
mm-hmm.
heart. Like,
It's like,
this is like
yeah,
what he wanted, maybe, and what he's
yeah,
probably
and then he tells him not to leave him. He was like, well, good. If you feel that way, don't ever fucking leave me again.
yeah,
And because I don't think, he was thinking, I can't take this shit no more. Like, then you make that promise since he's not here that
yeah,
you don't leave ever again. So I felt like there was some kind of like turning point between these two boys, like not really accepting it, but like coming to an understanding or maybe some kind of acceptance.
yeah. What do you think, Brandy?
So, I mean, I don't know. I'm just looking at this panel again now and thinking about it. I don't know
Mhm.
if you guys have noticed throughout the rest of the book and the other books, especially when like the entity more so comes out, the
Yeah.
speech bubble is black.
Yes.
So in
Mm-hmm.
this panel, he says "I do," which is I feel like more of old Hikaru, and
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
then entity Hikaru is like that extra "I'm crazy for you,"
Yeah.
like. So we kind of have, I feel like, I don't
I
know if
love
it was
it.
meant to be in this way.
Yeah.
Yes.
Uh-oh. You're
It's like that duality of
What
both
did I do?
sides, old
yeah.
and new. And so, like, you'll see it again in other panels where the entity is
Mm-hmm.
definitely more forefront and present. I mean,
Yeah.
obviously, he's the sole inhabitant of this body now, but
Right.
those speech bubbles turn black when it's like,
Yeah.
so it's kind of interesting now. I'm like looking at it again, like, oh, like I literally just read it this afternoon. I'm looking at it again, thinking,
And it's
I
like,
love it.
so
I love it.
if you think about like us, like as people too, and our feelings, how we're kind of like I feel like we have that too, like that duality, like how we're at war with
Mm-hmm.
ourselves, especially when it comes to
Mm-hmm.
really strong emotions. Like
Right.
the part that gets things out is more like the white side, but the part I feel like that kind of like possessive, obsessive, like those kind of darker, like deeper, like how we
Yeah.
really want to express how we feel is like that black
Mm-hmm.
part. He's
it's
able
like,
to,
what's that psychology thing? Like id, ego,
yeah,
super ego, like that kind of thing. Yeah.
yeah.
Mm. Love it.
You're
Love
right.
it.
You can keep going. Sorry. I'll be right back.
Oh, no, no, no. You're fine. So then we go back to the old lady and she's experiencing something. She's in her, I want to say she's in her bed or in her domain, and something's lurking in the shadows, in the very pitch black, and she's yelling down this hallway at whatever is in there. And I love the way that these panels are like laid out, and you could feel, just like back to what we were saying at the beginning, like you could feel it even though it's not moving or a lot's not going on, it is heavy. So you could feel the tension, you could feel that there's something not right, something's not there. The way that it's her point of view, like how she's looking down this hallway, you know. So
They do horror so well. Like they leave
hmm
just enough to your imagination that it's so
right.
spooky. I love it. And then later on we get the description of how she died. Imagining that
hmm
back in the scene, it's like, oh my god, it's so freaky.
Yes,
I love it so
right.
much.
I loved it too. I was
So
like,
good.
yes, yes. And just
Yeah. I love this
what did
part
you
right
think?
here. It was so
Hmm
Charlie, can I have a moment? Thank you. It was so scary movie. Like they did so good with that, especially like the part where he's like asking for her, saying she has a delivery, and then she's like,
hmm
she's not an idiot, clearly. Like she's like the type of person that you want in a scary movie that
Oops.
you wouldn't yell at because
Uh
she's
huh.
not an idiot. Like she knows. Like she's
Right.
so smart about
Right.
it. She's not gonna answer the door. But then he like keeps saying her name over and over and over and over and over and
And
over
then
and
he
over.
goes, I'm already inside.
Yeah.
Girl.
Yes.
Oh no.
Yes.
Like that panel of
Yes.
like him saying her name, where like the panel is just full of her name, like how like you can tell it's like crazy, and him just saying it is enough to drive anybody crazy. But that is such a scary
Right.
moment. Like I
hmm
felt that,
Yeah.
and not even
Right.
watching it. Yeah,
Right.
that one, that Brandy. Will you highlight her?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Sorry.
Like that one right there, that is all just
hmm
of him trying to get her to come out and him saying her name. Like, could you imagine
Yeah.
how freaking scary that would be?
Ooh,
And
Yeah.
it's
it's
probably
so
his real
good.
voice too. It's probably
Yeah.
his the entity's real voice that he's using, or even if it was Hikaru's voice, like imagine something,
Yeah. Well,
distorted.
if we go by Brandy's theory though, it's not, it's like the sweet, like it's like the sweet one, which
hmm
would
I
make
don't
sense
know.
as to
Okay, because
which
it's white.
makes sense as to him,
I think
like,
at first, yeah, I think at first he was, trying to be, but I imagine that with like a bunch of different voices all at the same time.
okay.
Because I feel like this entity could be anybody at any time.
Yeah.
Like they're not
hmm
down to any specific person, really. That's the
Yeah.
way I heard it. Might
Oh,
made it even
I
scarier.
cannot wait. I cannot wait to see it played out on the screen. Like, what are they going to come up with? Like, are any type of level of how you guys are thinking and what they're going to go with? So yes,
Yeah.
that's going to be amazing.
We're gonna have to do a
Uh,
review, like the three of us, on
A
the
watch
first episode.
party. Watch party.
Yes,
yes, let's do a
yes,
watch
that.
party. Yes, let's do it. We definitely will. We definitely will. I'll love it. So, but yeah, so we go to, sorry, my love. We go to the next day. Is it like a next day or next couple of days or something? And they're in school. And then the teacher's going over like, oh, there was a death in the village. And Joe, you want to take that? What are you saying?
Oh, my
What
bad.
does it say? It's okay. Let me try to find out where he actually said it. Hold on.
About how she died.
Yeah.
Ooh. Oh my god. It's so good.
Okay. It says so there was a dead body found this morning. They're saying that foul play involved, but the whole thing's causing a stir. Well, don't be too surprised if the police cars are around. All right, but
Yeah.
don't know when the kids are walking, they start talking
Wait,
about it, right?
Mhm.
did we pass anything?
No, 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 no.
We
So
didn't
the
pass.
kids, no, no, no. So
Oh, it
then the
says,
kids, sorry,
do you want me
the
to read how
kids.
she died?
Hold on, I think I have a panel for it. Hold on.
Okay.
So you get to meet like the other students and everything in the class, and they're talking about this part in the forest that they have to walk through, and they're like daring each other to go through there,
Yes.
and they're like, oh, we should all go together. That there's spirits and everything out there, and we should all go together. And Hikaru and Yoshiki, they hesitantly go, but that's where they start talking about. Where is it? Why is it not moving? Oh yeah, so that's when they
Yeah.
start
So
talking about
when the
how,
friend. Oh, sorry. I'm so sorry.
yep, No. Go talk about, yeah. So when they're walking through the forest together, they're on this little path, and it's like the forest is around them, and they're talking about the death of this woman. So yeah, it described like how this person, how that lady died.
Okay. Sorry, I was so confused
No, you're
actually.
fine. My bad.
Um,
My bad.
the friends were also able to pick up on, like, I think they can kind of tell that there's something off about Hikaru also, especially
Mm-hmm.
the one with the short hair.
The
The
bl-
girl with,
yeah,
Blonde.
the short like blonde hair. Yeah.
yeah, she looks like she's like feels like uneasy or whatever, like something's
Mm-hmm.
off. But this is also the panel where you see that there has to be a connection between Hikaru and the forest,
Mm-hmm.
because um he like talks, like the one friend talks about like how he wasn't even able to look at it. It was like anytime
Mm-hmm.
he tried, then he would instantly like be snapped back forward. But then like when they go through this part, like it's like nothing, like it's
Mm-hmm.
not as intense or whatever. So like I wonder if Hikaru, whatever his name is, if he was like the reasoning behind that. Like if he was like
Mm-hmm.
that strong force or whatever
Yeah,
that
it's like it was true.
well,
Absolutely.
and but there's like some really big stuff that happens while they are on their like trek through it too.
Yeah. So
Oh,
I
this
know.
raggedy neck bitch. I can't.
Yes.
This spooked me so bad the first time I
Yes.
read it.
Yes. No doubt. So
I
you
could just,
see, like,
I could hear it. Like I could hear it in my
mm-hmm.
mind. You
Mm.
could just hear the
Right.
bones. Like, ugh.
Right. And then so as they're
It's
walking
so
through the
crazy.
forest, they can feel like it just said like the other things are being drawn to them, and
Yeah.
this other entity that's hair swishing. I think I even found like a color one of their. I don't know. Hold on, let me see. Yeah,
And by the way,
you
that
could
old
kind of
lady
get the
that died shoved her own
Uh-huh.
hand down her throat.
Yeah.
That's how
yeah,
she died.
So
no
is
doubt.
this entity or whatever with the long hair, that's not the old lady, right?
No, I think that's
Okay.
No,
even
I don't think
further.
so.
Okay.
Yeah, but yeah, just imagine that coming towards you, and
Yeah.
then he's like, Hikaru tells Yoshiki, don't look, just keep looking at the path. But he can see it. He can see what's going on, and like he's like, fuck, man, like I got to deal with this stuff, And all the other kids are like in front of him talking, They keep walking, but you can feel it. You can feel, and all of a sudden he gets like pinged in the fucking head by something.
Yeah, it's where he was trying to swallow, like he
Yeah.
was trying to save Yoshiki, and he
Mhm.
was like trying to swallow the thing whole, and I guess
Mhm.
he like it was like misdirected, like he didn't.
Mhm.
And
Trying to fight back, he said.
yeah,
Right. Get out.
because it was trying to attach itself to
Yeah.
him.
Yeah. But the way he was saying it was like, it's coming for you now. He's
Ugh.
like, come here.
Because he looked at it. So I guess like that's the
Yeah.
thing, not supposed to.
Yeah. He's like, oh dang, you saw it, huh? Can't
Yeah.
have you doing that. He was like, it's coming for you. He was like, come here. Like,
It's like
what?
that series Maruko-chan. Have y'all read that?
No. Oh, you love that one.
It's so good.
I need to read it.
Yeah. It's like a horror comedy type where she like just
Okay.
pretends she can't see these horrible ghost monster things.
Yeah.
I'm
Anyway,
definitely gonna have to get it. But yeah, then he just plays it off that he broke it, like he has a bloody nose and everything, and he gets them all out of there safely. But
I kind of wonder what's going to happen, like if something's going to happen with the black-haired girl, because she clearly has some kind of like schoolgirl crush on Yoshiki. Like, she's like always worried about him. When she's talking, it's always directed towards him. So I wonder if that's going to be an issue.
She's all
literally.
like, bitch, gotta. He's gonna be like, bitch, gotta go. Like,
Yeah,
Don't
like
be stepping up to my man.
yeah,
right?
because
Like,
he's
you
already
remember?
like possessive or whatever. Like he wants to be like the one and only. You can tell. So I
Hmm.
wonder, like, how that's gonna play out.
No doubt, no doubt. I can't wait. But yes, okay. Now, Andrew, you're gonna have to. I didn't get any panels of this, but where you were talking about where it was foreshadowing. So
Mhm.
you get to go. We get to go back and see a moment from the real Hikaru.
Okay. Oh, like with the family.
Hmm.
Okay, so like where it explains or whatever.
Hmm.
Okay, so this one it says Hikaru. If you really like someone, you gotta marry them quick. Like, is that what you're talking about?
Yep.
Okay. And then so Hikaru's like, I'll just get married like normal. What'll happen if I don't? And then the relative says Unamaki-sama will take them into the mountains. And then he says it's an Indo family rule. If you got yourself a lover, you gotta hurry and marry him. It promised not to
Hmm.
lay on our family members, so they'll be safe as long as you take them as your bride. Why does it take them away? It's lonely. So instead of taking one of our family members, it takes the person we cherish most. So because they can't touch that family specifically, they take the next best thing. So then the guy says it's just an old, or Hikaru says it's just an old wives' tale, though. That woman who dumped your old man and a whole bunch of others before her are all alive and well. I don't remember that all too well, but even if I won't be taking you, I can always be with you now. Is what the new Hikaru's saying. So like the new Hikaru
Hmm.
knows like he's gonna do whatever it takes to protect Yoshiki because he is like infatuated with him or
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
But so that
He
makes me
says.
wonder if the old Hikaru went into the mountains willingly because of that story. Like if he knew like as he got older, if that story was like an actual, there was like truth to it,
That was
and
his
that
drive
was
to go
his
up
way
there
of
and
protecting his friend, or what.
right.
Yeah, we still don't know
Yeah.
We
because I
still
mean
don't know. Yeah.
technically he's part of the family, so it wouldn't be able to hurt him. I wonder maybe he went
Yeah.
to like plead his case, like please don't take my friend from me. Like
Yeah.
Yeah.
we don't know. There's some
Yeah.
weird family ritual type stuff going
Yeah.
on.
No
Or
doubt. No
like
doubt.
I kind of wonder if maybe, I don't know. I wonder like because it just shows his shoe or whatever, and they're in a mountain. So I kind of wonder if he did something to like self harm, and if that was his way of because he said he was like half dead or
Mhm.
whatever when he
Yeah.
found
So
him.
you haven't read past one,
I
correct,
haven't.
Ninja?
No.
Okay. Okay.
I
This
was
is
gonna
making
say
sense
what.
now.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of like
Yeah.
what all
Okay.
happened in
No,
one.
no, no. Because okay. Yeah. Yeah. All right. So I love that I love your thoughts on what actually happened. So continue on. I'm sorry. I just had to know that.
No, am I completely wrong? Now you have to tell me.
Mm-mm.
No.
No. Nope. Nope. Nope.
I'm not off.
Nope.
Okay.
You're not off, but you're
I'm
not
not
on
off.
the money. But it's nice to see your perception for somebody because Brandy and I already know, but
What
this
happened?
is perfect that you don't know, and then maybe that's somebody that hasn't read this before. You see what I'm saying? It can go
Yeah.
on and see. This is perfect. I love it. But yeah,
Mhm.
Okay. I'm gonna have to read two now after.
Yes, obviously.
right. Obviously, yeah, no doubt.
Yeah.
So
I guess those are some of my thoughts. Like I don't know.
okay, you're still holding out hope that he's around. Is that what you're
No,
saying?
like I don't think he's around at all.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just trying to figure out what could have happened. Like if he knew what was going to happen and went to the mountains willingly, if he
Okay.
like, sacrificed himself for his friend,
Yeah.
if he really did have deep feelings for his friend, and him going to the mountains was the only way to get around that, and like, or if he made like some kind of deal with this other entity,
Okay. I
like
like it.
died.
I like it.
So I don't know. But now I'm gonna have to read it when I get finished.
Yeah. No, don't. All
I'm
right.
trying.
So I feel like this next chapter is a chapter that everybody was talking about once this book came out. Like this this was it. Chapter 4. It's like when you know what I'm talking about, like chapter 55, chapter
Oh yeah.
54. You know what the hell I'm talking about, Brandy, okay? So I feel like chapter 4 in this book is one of the most talked about
It's where he gets in
scenes.
the
And
sun.
okay, this is where the
Literally.
monster boy, let's go. I was like, I couldn't wait when I heard this. I was like, let's fucking go. What are you talking about? He goes, so we're getting ahead of
He
ourselves.
puts
Okay,
his
so
hand
chapter
where?
4. So yeah, so chapter 4, um, we get to see a really, and I felt like this part was so intimate, like
Yeah.
such a moment, like private moment, such a turn, like another like little turning point between them. So um, one day in school, they're playing like volleyball or something like that. And he ends up getting hurt, right? Yoshiki ends up getting like pummeled in the face or something like that, correct? I think,
Hikaru
I don't
gets
I
hit
know.
in
think
the
But
face.
oh,
it's
Hikaru
yeah,
gets hit in the face like hard.
the bloody.
And then so they got to get cleaned up. They end up like in the nurse's office and stuff like that. And then they have to, he's all like, I feel like this is like somebody like flirty with you. He's all like, hey, if you stay back from school with me, like
Yeah.
I'll let you put your hand inside me. He's like, like seeing like what testing some kind of waters, you see what I'm saying? But kind of like and a childish boy like hanging out with his homies,
Yeah.
but it turned into something else. Like it's like, hey, you stay back with me from school. I'll let you feel my insides. It's cool. So so they end up in the gym like equipment room
Yeah.
together. And yeah, like I love all these panels that the things that happen between them. So
So
but
intense.
look how he's
Not even
so
like
intense, like how he's standing in front of him too, like how he's in between Yoshiki's legs, and because he could have easily just stood in front of him. Do you understand what I'm saying? But that just showed how intimate this moment was, like the body language, like Hikaru's in between his legs, him, like lean back, and like their body language is just like it was just so intimate. And
yeah.
then the way he just like buttoned down his shirt, and like it wasn't like the homie just taking out the shirt. Oh, dude, like look, you can put your fucking
Yeah.
hand, it wasn't nothing like that. Like they made the scene so much more
Yeah.
bigger. So
That
you
also
have anything
like
to say, Anja?
that also shows like the difference between them two. Like Hikaru, it's like not a huge deal for. Like because he's still working on those like human emotions. So it's like it's like
Mm-hmm.
like for him it's like it's like I don't feel like as intimate to him at first until he
Mm-hmm.
like can feel like what that feels like as it is to Yoshiki. Like and Yoshiki's having to deal with like first of all it's like I don't know, like having to deal with like having an intimate moment, just the two of you.
Yeah.
And then not
And
only
then
like it's his best friend that is same sex, so he's like having to come to
yeah.
terms with like like how he feels as far as like what type of attraction he has for the individual. So like he has to deal with that too on top of that. And then
Mm-hmm.
it's if it's like he's like forced to like come out about his
Right.
in this moment.
Right.
That is so scary. Like even like
Right.
think about if that had been like the actual Hikaru, like how he would have reacted in that moment.
Mm-hmm.
Like if he been accepting of it or if you know it's like there's just
He
so
even
much
asked
I
him
feel
too. Yeah. He even
yeah
asked him.
it's
He was like, "What
so
kind of
like
situation is this?" Like, because he started to feel it too. He started to feel everything that Yoshiki, like it turned, like it wasn't like just the like showing you something cool. Now it's like this. He asked him like, what is this now? He goes, I don't know. Like he goes, I don't know, but he's like he knows what he's feeling, but he doesn't want to voice it. But yeah, you're absolutely right. Like coming to terms that this is your best friend, or this thing, and like you guys, like holy shit, I'm gonna like thinking about it in a totally different way, and I guess I absolutely love stop. But then yes, like he puts his hand in him and he asks him, "Does it feel good to you?" He was like, "I've never felt anything like this before." And at first he describes it as like feeling like marinated raw chicken at first, but then it starts feeling good for him, and then he experiences something. They both experience something in that moment, like when they let go, and like he gets to kind of see like what's inside him too, right?
He sees like a
And some
memory or
panels,
something.
yeah, yeah. So some of the panels I left out just in case somebody wanted to go back and read that, and experience for themselves,
Yeah.
But but yes,
My
and
guy
then
having his big O, like Hikaru, like when you look at his face, he's
he's like covered over me. He's like, hell.
legit,
Yeah.
like
He's blushing.
legit yeah. His face, like that blushing and his eyes closed and that mouth wide open.
He's like,
guy.
right.
Yeah.
But then Yoshiki gave him that good boy pat on the head, like afterwards. I was like, not the good boy pat on his head.
A good boy.
But
Yeah.
yeah.
What did you
Oh yeah, I guess he did. He smacked him first though.
Yeah, he smacked him because he was like embarrassed, but then he had like a soft moment for him, like he stroked his hair, like but I seriously loved that part, I was like, yes, this is what we've been waiting for, the monster boyfriend part. Let's go.
dude? And I'm so nervy, like on that one on that panel, Yoshiki. I'm cool and I'm like, I mean, the real thing.
What did he say?
Because he's like, I'm pulled in. Like,
I can't hear you, Andrew. I'm
really
sorry.
are. You can't hear me?
Okay, now I can.
On that part, he says, I'm being pulled in. And so I'm like,
Oh,
if
yeah.
it were like a real thing, like, I'm sure that's probably what it feels like.
I'm blushy.
Brandy, what did you think about that part?
I mean, it was again a kind of great duality of that scene where it's like that intimate moment. Yeah, like they're coming together in like literally in a way, but it's also that like straight up body horror. Like this is not right.
Yeah.
Did you forget the fact
Right.
that this is not Hikaru? Because I want you to remember that this is something.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're not just having a little kissy smooch in the locker room. We're straight up sticking our hand in homeboy's chest here.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
No doubt.
But
it's one of the best chapters for a reason. It's
he completely throws like inhibition to the wind though, like at that moment. He's like, okay, I'm going all in. Like, I guess this is kind of what I've wanted. Like he like it's like he like forgets in that moment that he's not, I mean, like, you're putting your hand through somebody's gaping like stomach.
Yeah.
You think,
and then he's like, move up closer. Oh yeah, like he's like,
but he like just kind of goes for it, and they both have that feeling like
a moment of
just pleasure. I'll just say that.
Yes, pleasure. Exactly.
And again,
they were
like
both feeling
on that term of like having to come to terms with this sexuality. I feel like it is kind of a parallel to like you're enjoying it, and then you think about it and you're like, oh my gosh, like I can't do this.
Freaking out. Exactly.
Acceptable, like
yes.
Tell him, Brandy. Yes.
In a very strange and very extreme way, but definitely has that parallel to
Yeah.
it.
Because it that scene to me feels so kind of taboo,
Mm-hmm.
and I
Mm-hmm.
feel like the situation itself, when looked at from a different audience, is like the stipulation that they put on stuff like that. Like it's a taboo
Mm-hmm.
thing. So I feel like they
Right.
did a really good job of like making that, like
relatable, but
yeah,
also
like people
have yeah.
some people look at it as like being a, you know, taboo thing. And so like
Mm-hmm.
I think like it being like him entering his stomach and it being like just the whole like scenario and stuff like makes it kind of feel like that, like, in a different way. Like it,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. I don't know if I explained that right, but
I know what
yeah.
you're saying. Yeah, no doubt.
Not that it
But yeah,
is.
3.
I'm just saying like.
But I mean, in that culture, still, unfortunately, I mean,
Mm-hmm.
obviously, in everywhere, there's
Yeah.
people that don't agree with homosexuality.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because I think even in the book he had said, "Oh, he's sick," because there was
Mhm.
another like class member that had, or somebody in the village that was gay, and they were like, "Oh, he's sick," and they were like, "He's not sick, he's gay." Like he
Mhm.
had to correct somebody, and he's standing there,
Yeah,
with
him
those
and
same
Hikaru
feelings
were
like
both
that. That
talking about
yeah,
it.
right.
Yeah.
So
That's so
there still
wild
is
to me
that.
though, like that's even a thing. Like because I feel like there's so much manga and stuff out there that are done by Japanese creators where it is like centered around like homosexuality. Like it is so
Hmm.
like prevalent, I feel like, in like stories and books for it to be like not the norm. There. Like
Hmm.
more so I feel like than like American um books and stuff. Like so
Yeah.
that's just like so crazy, like because it like even in anime and stuff like that, like there's all like you always have like those kind of tropes and you always have that character. I feel like in a lot of anime, especially like action animes, where they're just super like
Hmm.
like
Hmm.
super flirty, super flamboyant, super just like comfortable with their sexuality, and so it's like anybody can get it, like it doesn't matter.
Like
So like
like what's their names in Comey Can't Communicate? You know who I'm talking about, Brandy.
it's
I
like
Um.
that
read
just
that
like
one.
blows my
Oh,
mind
you'll love it.
that is like
That
that
it's
is
still kind of
still kind
frowned
of like a
upon.
taboo thing. Yeah.
Hmm.
When like the manga and anime that they have out that clearly highlights that is so like mainstream, and it's not like
Yeah,
it doesn't seem like it would be a big deal. I don't know.
absolutely. I totally.
That always like blows my mind.
Yeah, and I mean, I obviously I think as younger generations come up, it's going to be much more normalized.
Yeah.
It's still
Hmm.
very
Hmm.
much a
Yeah.
older part of the culture.
Yeah. I mean,
Here and there.
I would have always thought that they like it would have been more accepting in that culture than it is here, because it's more like there's just so much more like media and stuff out about like in that sense with like with manga and anime. But I guess that's always kind
Right.
of been like
But
manga
you
and
also
anime
have
is
to
kind of
think,
seen
yeah,
as
it's
the
its own
black sheep.
subculture. Manga and anime has its own
Yeah.
subculture also.
Yeah.
Right. You're right about that. But yes, definitely.
All right. We're going off again.
Right.
That's
No,
what it's
no, that
for.
was great. That's what. Yeah, that was great. That was great. So then they're going about their day, about life and everything. So, um, Yoshiki ends up running into this lady, and she's like he's just doing some grocery shopping, runs into one of the chatty ass fucking people in the village. She's just going on and on about stuff, and then he runs into this lady, and she's like, "Don't do it, young man. You need to stop right this instant." Like, and then she's like, "You must be wondering what a random housewife is going on about. Well, if you're close to something incredibly dangerous, don't tell me you can't sense that.
Yeah.
You gotta get away right now, this instant. If you keep this up, you'll mix.
Yeah.
You'll mix. She goes, it's hard to explain. He won't be human anymore if you get too mixed up with something from the other side. And he's thinking, what the fuck? Like, how did you even know this?
Hey.
Who the hell are you?
Sorry. You're fine. The part before that though, where he's like grocery shopping for his sister, and he's like, Charlie, you're fine, stop. And the cashier, like, he's going to go like check out or whatever, and she like clearly knows, like, his, like, is like acquainted with his family or whatever.
Right.
So like, he's just kind of had that intimate moment or whatever with Hikaru. She is so like,
she's
like
so
condescending. Yeah, like is like all in his family business, but then it's like, you need to cut your bank, you need to do this. Like, it's so like,
that's such an old person thing to say.
Yeah,
we've all had that. We've all had that.
Yeah, but she's like, even like the way that she like talks about his family, she's like so condescending and so just like kind of, I don't know. I feel like, like he's had kind of like this special, like kind of scary moment, and then to like have to deal with that afterwards is like she kind of like, she's like making him forced to kind of like take a look at himself and like feel bad about himself in a way. And then, but then
the way he's like,
brags about like her own child and like how like her child is doing, like, I think it's her child.
Her son was in track and field, blah blah blah.
Yeah, and is like doing this and that, and like, like all these great things or whatever. But that
she's like, oh, are your parents still fighting?
Yeah, like
they were still yelling.
Rubbed me the wrong way. Like, your life ain't shit, and you're
that'll be 700 yen.
Yeah. Oh, I like, there was like no, like, that moment really wanted me to be like, where's Hikaru at? Like,
that part. Because that baby shit, he didn't even wait for her ass in the alley after she got off of work.
Girl. Yes.
What time you get off?
Business.
Talking to my boy like that. But yeah, so he does run into this woman, and she's talking about, if he keeps going in the direction that he's going in, it's going to be disastrous. Mm-hmm. Anything you want to say about this part, Ninja? Or Brandy, even Brandy? Just Ninja.
Go, Brandy, go, Brandy, go.
I mean, it just kind of gives us another outside perspective because, again, like, he is in this denial a little bit of, he just wants to pretend it's his friend. He wants to forget that it's this thing that could be potentially dangerous. We already went over how, like, one of the first things he said to him was, I don't want to have to kill you. Like, he kind of forgets that it's this dangerous thing. So having somebody from the outside looking in being like, hey, alarm bells, remember, like, this is not something you should be messing with.
Yeah. I know, it's like when things become good with them, like a red flag character, like when things are so good, like you get over those kind of humps and like you're coasting on like that high, and then it's like his conscience almost. Like bringing these people up, like, okay, so wait a minute, there's some things we need to take a look at that aren't normal and that you really need to think about, like, because that's what I do. Like, they had kind of gotten to this point where they had reached this agreement where, like, it was like, okay, maybe we can kind of be like, maybe things can go on as normal, and then the cat shows up, and then the old lady shows up, and then like they have this intimate moment. And then this woman, like the psychic or whatever,
right.
But kind of like shows up, like, breaks on it real quick. Yeah.
Right. And she's telling him, like, look, like those mountains that are over there, they've been off limits, like some weird shit comes out of there. And then he realizes those are the same mountains that his Hikaru died in. And she's like, there's things that come out of there, and, that we shouldn't be messing with. And she was like, I feel like you're a little in too deep. And she tells him, like, you need to You need to cut ties with him. You need to meet up with me. You see what I'm saying? And like,
Yeah.
I'll help you out.
Yeah.
And he's going home. Yeah, and he's going home, and he's like, all of this stuff is running through his mind. He has pictures of him growing up. He has like flashbacks of like, moments that they've had. He's been in his life damn near all his life, and for him to like have to make a decision to completely cut him off because he feels like, I feel like this is the right thing to do. I know this is the right thing to do. Like, but all those emotions come back up again, about letting him go and the consequences of dealing with not even just that, but like the consequences of dealing with this entity that's become a part of him, a part of his daily life, and like, and wants to be around him and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
Well, now he's got this person to talk to, where he hasn't had anybody to talk to about what's going on. But that also means that now he has to confront this whole situation where he's trying to not do that.
Yes. So, okay, I have a question for you all. Do you feel like there's a correlation between him and meeting this woman and having to confront those feelings and like his personal feelings towards like his sexuality?
Okay.
Because like he doesn't meet her until after they have that moment, right? Which is something that deep down I feel like he's kind of thought about and probably wanted to act on, but it's happened, but like not, like in a different way because he's a ghoul monster boyfriend or whatever. But like, do you think that there's any like, do you think like the story that they're trying to tell with like him being at odds with his friend not actually being his friend and being, like this other entity and like his sexuality, like do you think that there is a connection there, or do you think it's like two separate?
No, I agree with you on that one because even the person that wrote this, they said that yes, there's a lot of like spiritual things that are going on, but they really wanted to hit home with the feelings, everybody's feelings. Like that's what their main goal was to bring these feelings to the forefront and always have people's feelings involved in whatever the hell was going on around them. So definitely that was a major part of it. Everything all of these movements and stuff that he's doing, it definitely plays into everything. So
yeah, I definitely think it's a very extreme way of getting that idea of having these feelings like we talked about that are taboo, that you feel like you can't talk to your family about, you can't talk to your friends about. You kind of want to hide those feelings inside of yourself. So it's kind of that extreme example of what that feeling about being and coming to terms with your sexuality is like. It almost is like coming to terms with a monster in a way.
Yeah.
Great.
Okay. So that makes me feel better because like that's how I had been feeling about it. But then like I feel like sometimes so like I just like go so far off.
No, definitely
it's like
not.
actually intended and just kind of like make up my own stuff.
But that's the beauty of art though too, is that everybody can interpret stories in different ways.
Yeah.
Right. No doubt. I think I did that with Happy at the End. Like some people just saw it for this heartbreaking, like, like this fire dump, and I saw like the beauty in this fucking story, like how it all girl, I'd be sitting up at night like that's what that baby was thinking in that panel. I swear to God, like after I read that book, but I can totally see where you're saying it's like where you pick things apart and you're thinking about it and you're moving on. But that's the beauty of storytelling like this, so I love it. Yeah, no, that's why I love the way your mind works. Brandy always has like this cool ass way of just like executing something. I'm more like, girl, did you see that? That shit was wild, right? But yeah, no doubt.
Like one more thing before we move on to the panels of like where he is. I don't know if that's the one where he's in his house or not, But you know how like I was talking about the sounds and stuff, like the summer sounds and like the cicadas and
Mhm.
animals and stuff.
Mhm.
So after he is talking to that woman, who like kind of confronts, you know, like what he's been feeling and makes him
Mhm.
feel seen. He
Mhm.
like there's this panel of like where he's like passing sunflowers, and they're so
Mhm.
like dark and stuff. Like it almost like makes me feel like he's being watched in a sense. I don't know. It's
Mhm.
really weird. But
Okay.
like he's like staring at his phone, like trying to figure out, because I think she gives him like his contact or something, like trying to
Mhm.
figure
Yeah.
out, you know, like what to do, or like, do I seek her out to talk about it, or do I just
Right.
live this like blissful ignorance or whatever? But then like it
Right.
like where he's like in his thoughts, like because you don't really hear like that buzzing or like see that on the panels as much though until this moment, and it's like on there like fully, like kind of how it was like
Mhm.
before, when there was like some sort of issue or whatever that arose. So like this is like his, I feel like that, like when you see that a lot just like thrown in a lot on one page, it kind of signifies like his eternal strife that he's
Mhm.
like going through too. And that's like before he goes to visit
Yep.
Karu, like goes to his house or whatever. Like he's like dealing with this like internal dilemma.
He's got that guilt,
Yeah.
that guilty
Yes.
feeling, because
Yeah.
he knows
Yeah.
he's
That
keeping
guilt.
stuff from him.
But I
Yeah.
think actually too that he like kind of checks his friend out too because Hikaru, he's sleeping and like his shirt's up a little bit and like his pants are a little low, you know, he's sweating and everything like that, and he actually like stands there and looks at him for a minute, and like I feel like he admires him just for a split second because of what they shared beforehand. I don't think a lot of time has went past, you know, in between these times that they had that moment together versus like now he's kind of staring at him. Yeah, he feels guilty, but at the same time, I felt like there was one point in time like he was looking at his friend differently too, like
Mhm.
like
It's
checking him
starting to
Yeah.
out
look at
type
him a
shit.
little different.
He,
Yeah.
yeah, he definitely does that after the like that cicada scene or whatever. Like after he
Mhm.
sends that message to her, because
Yeah.
he's like, you know, he's like, do I like seek this out and like hear what she has to say? Because I think he knows, like, essentially that it's pretty much gonna like just like, you know, tell him what he already knows, like deep down, like
Mhm.
what he's been like pushing down and like not trying to like come to terms with, like him
Right.
talking to her. Like he knows deep down, but I don't,
Right.
he's not like ready to like acknowledge that. Like he's like, you know, at odds with it, but I don't think he's fully ready, because it's like losing his friend again, like losing this like
Yeah.
unrequited love again. Like
Yeah.
he's gonna have to give him up twice, you know?
Again. Yeah.
So I think,
And I don't think
yeah,
he doesn't want anything bad to happen. Like he's developed some type of attachment to this entity, whether it's a killer, whatever it is, he's developed something towards him. So he doesn't want anything to happen to him, you know, like so
mm-hmm.
there's that too, and having to just everything coming to an head, and he's not ready for it.
Yeah.
And and it shows like he keeps going back with his emotions as far as this is like the weight that he's been carrying. Like he feels
Yeah.
like all these hands are like holding him down or holding him, you know, holding him back, and he's struggling to stand up, you know,
Mm-hmm.
and to deal with all of these heavy things.
The way that this author artist does, like, visually shows us stress is so impressive.
Yes.
Like, you can
Mhm.
really feel it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
did they do the art and the story?
Yes.
Or yes?
Yes.
Okay, that's what I was thinking. Like, dude, that is so like
Ah!
that is so crazy to me. Like,
Uh-huh.
I mean, it's like a feat in itself to be a great storyteller, and it's a feat in itself to
Mhm.
be a great artist, to be able to pair with that storytelling. But if you can do both, like, and they do it, like, you know,
Yeah.
this person does it so well. Like everything is so seamless. I
Mm-hmm.
feel like you can really feel like through the storytelling and through the art, you can feel it. Like it is so heavy and so
Yeah.
just like it really awakens like all of your senses. Like I can hear, like I can tell it's summertime. I
Mm-hmm.
can feel like this crazy like heat, like when they're sweating. I can tell how hot it is. I can hear like nature and like hear these insects and hear the frog croaking and like all of this. Like they really put me and what's happening at that moment. Like the anxiety
Right.
and stuff that you feel, like
Yeah.
I can feel that. Like that fear
No
that you
doubt.
feel when
Yeah.
something is catching up to you, like I can feel that. So it's like it really is like
Great
kudos.
storytelling.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Those kudos.
No doubt.
And it is really so important, especially in like a thriller horror, to be so
Mhm.
immersed in what's
Yeah.
going on. They give
Yeah.
you just
No
enough
doubt.
to leave a lot to your imagination, but they also are able to show so much visually with
Yes.
their artwork.
No doubt. I love it. And then yeah, so he's still just fighting with himself and just coming to terms with everything that you guys just said. And then this is another panel.
Again,
This is
so
Yeah.
beautiful.
Yeah. Which is so crazy. It breaks my heart for him because I really feel like this is like bless his heart, like him coming to terms with like his feelings on the inside and just been so alone in that. Like
Mhm.
it just really it breaks my heart. Like it really breaks my heart for him. Like I just want to be like, baby, it's okay.
Right.
You know, like it's okay.
Don't you and your monster boyfriend just run away? No, I'm just
Run away to the mountains.
so then okay. My bad, I jumped the gun. So then he ends up meeting up with that lady, right? But
Mhm.
Hikaru finds that message. He finds that message, right? That
Yep.
the lady left him that they were gonna meet up, and he feels betrayed because like he didn't.
Yes.
He was like, who the fuck is this?
Yeah.
So
And
then
is
he's
that
kind of been he's been avoiding him a little bit after that. Like he's trying to break those
Yeah.
ties, and Hikaru is
Yeah.
Yeah,
noticing
he doesn't
like
look at him in the
that's the
face,
deal.
and yeah,
that is such a couple fight moment too. Like that is not a normal just like we're best friends fight.
Yeah.
Like that is such a like there are some deep feelings here and we are having like our first fight and there are some things that have been addressed. There's mistrust, there's you've kind of went behind my back, but then there's also like you were being super kind of pushy and like forcing this notion on me like I need to be able to have space and deal with like what's happened, but you're always there and always around and aren't giving me the space that I need to be able to come to terms and accept things. Like that is such like a couple fight. And then there's there's a little bit of gaslighting, I feel like, because like Hikaru's like, well, what's this message? Like you meeting up with her. But then like Yoshiki quickly like turns it around and makes it like, I mean, like Hikaru shouldn't have been going, shouldn't have like looked. But Yoshiki quickly turns it around back on Hikaru. And it's like, I don't know, like, even that part like gave me the feels. Like, I don't know.
I love it. But even all the stuff that when he meets up with the lady, you could tell like the tension, like the way that the lines are drawn and shit. He's got his fucking hat down low. He's there. He's fucking nervous, and she's trying to like open up to him and get and tell him like things that she feels like she knows about this whole thing.
Yes.
And
because he feels guilty for even
you could tell like the way he's holding his head, the way that he has his hair over his face, the way he's just so shameful, and the way he holds his head down and shit like that. He's just like
well, it's a small town
like
too.
that,
He doesn't want anybody to know he's there.
Yes,
that's it, that part.
But then they have
obviously
that
everyone's
one
in everybody's
moment, like
business.
that they. Oh, sorry, I'm so sorry.
Oh no, you're good. I was saying like obviously everybody's already in everybody's business.
Yeah.
Right?
Like,
Store clerk.
supermarket lady.
Yes, that needs to get got. So bad. But like, shoot. Forgot what I was gonna
Sorry.
say. No, you're completely fine.
Yeah,
They shared like a moment, like they were able to bond. She's like, I don't know, I kind of felt like iffy about her. Like I was kind of like, okay, is she like, because
is
she's
she
like
an
able to cook
ally
and
or
all
like
that
is she
stuff.
in it for herself?
Yeah, like I
Mm-hmm.
kind of felt like, is she like, is there something off about her, and
Mm-hmm.
like there may be something kind of supernatural about her, and she's like trying to, like split in between, or like, but then like you find out like they are able to relate, like she's been through what he's gone through, what he's currently going through. And
Mm-hmm.
she's showing him like what one side of that will result in, which is not positive.
Right. Right. But I love how she assumes it's his girlfriend or something.
Yeah.
Doesn't she say something like that? Like, oh, you did get mixed up with it. Like, you're really, like, you're a little in too deep. I was thinking maybe it was like your girlfriend. He's like, what? Like, like, and he's really trying to be like cool, calm, and collective about shit. But she says that something about, I think whatever it is becoming your friend and having an effect on things. I feel like a huge mass or something like hell itself. As soon as I felt the presence disappear from the mountains, this area suddenly grew larger.
Yeah. Yes. And I'm sure that's what it feels like, even again, like that correlation between what's really going on in his sexuality. I'm sure that it feels like that on the inside, like coming to terms with
Absolutely.
yourself. I'm sure it feels like, dude, I cannot get over though. So first of all, not this diner being called America or whatever, and then not not them serving this like super sweetie dish called, what is it, America Mega Deluxe Mountain President. Like, I know that America is known for like supersizing everything and like being over the top and like not being healthy and stuff like that, but the call out on that.
Okay, but does it not look delicious?
I mean,
I want one. I want an America Mega Deluxe Mountain President right now.
Yes, but they completely called us out on that. Like,
oh yeah, they did.
that was so much shade thrown at that.
I'm dead. And they go.
But I also loved how she takes him to this like place that's like, like sweets and stuff, and he's not a sweet type boy at all.
Yeah,
that's Hikaru. That's
I feel like it's only a couple places in town to even go to.
Yeah.
So it's not like there's a whole lot of options either.
It don't even look like a lot of people are in there. Like they ain't fucking with this place like that.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, here you go. One American Mega Deluxe Mountain President. Enjoy. Yeah. But she ends up confessing that.
Anika knows. Look at her.
Girl, she be talking so bad about us. She be talking so bad about us. But yeah, she even confesses, the lady confesses to him that her husband came back.
Yeah.
And she said that it didn't work out. That
no, because he gave their child a scar.
Yeah.
No way. He tried to get the baby.
No. Not getting the baby.
Yeah.
Some Pet Cemetery type shit.
Right? Like, I feel bad for even laughing about it. Like, what does that say about me as a person?
She says, I want you to move forward. I want you to let this go. And he goes, what the hell am I supposed to do?
Yeah.
What am I supposed to do? And then, like, it's not like she gives him any guidance or anything on what to do or anything like that. Like, this baby's just left with this. Like once again, this is not an adult. This is a fucking child. This is walking around with all these things that he has to, like, and nobody else around him is really getting it. Everybody may feel this tension and everything else. Like they don't know the gist of it, So he.
Yes, and
So he is
even
sitting.
though she has like she's able to kind of sympathize and like knows what he's going through, but she still
Hmm.
doesn't. Like he's at that stage in life where he is impulsive and like wants to act
Hmm.
on feelings and like isn't sure of himself, and like clearly there are some things like um he's not completely confident. Like you see that about like the haircut stuff, even when like Hikaru brings that up. And like Hikaru even mentions like that's his way of like hiding himself
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
from like others and from the world. Like, you know, like there are all these things that she's already been through and has dealt with as an adult,
Hmm.
as an older adult,
Right.
you know, and he's still finding his way and experiencing things for the first time. So it's like great that he like has her, you know, like he can talk to and confide in and can get advice from, but she still doesn't fully understand because she's so far away from,
Yeah.
you know, like where he's at right now in
Right.
life.
Versus where she's at. Right.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I don't know. But yeah. But so he's that black hair girl comes back into play later on. So when he's at school, he's like dodging his friend. You know, the girl's looking for
Yeah.
him, but homegirl, the black hair girl, she comes and talks to him. She's like, "Hey, you know, your homeboy's looking for you."
Yeah.
Like, what is that about? Like,
Mm-hmm.
if you see him, tell him to go home without me, right? And she's like,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, not happening. But yeah, he's just sitting there, and then the crowd comes in. He's like, "Hey, there you are! Like, you know, what the hell's going on? I've been looking for you, and you know, what's up?" Like he doesn't. And then he brings up. He goes, "What the hell? What's with the interrogation?" And then he
Yeah.
goes, "Okay, then why did you go to town last week? And what's
Yeah.
up with you exchanging messages with some stranger?" And he was like, "Do I have to either way? Do I have to tell you everything? You know, like, and everything. It's starting to get heated, and you can see the difference, like how the panels are getting a little darker, and they're raising their voice at each other, and a lot of emotions are coming up, you know,
Yes.
and." Yoshiki like just blows the fuck up. He's just like, you sound like him, you know, you talk like him, you fucking laugh like him, all these things, but you're not him. I need to
Yes.
come to terms with that he's gone. And you're
Yeah.
this is not right. You know, like and then this is when he does say that when he says, but I'm useless without Yoshiki because you're my first. And he goes, I don't even know what my real feelings are or his at this point. This is so
Yes.
hard. He goes, what am I supposed to do? He goes, I know it ain't right, but I still like you. And I can't stop my feelings, you know? And he's getting heated now. Like he's crying. They're both fucking sobbing. They're both yelling at each other. And then, you know, he loses control. And this panel was like, what? Like, you know, and he grabs his best friend and like whatever is inside him, a lot of, you know, some of it seeps out in the heat of the moment of their emotions, you
Mm-hmm.
know?
This is my favorite part of the entire story because
Okay.
they are finally at the point where they are showing raw, real emotion and
Yeah.
are being honest with each other. And like so like what Brandon
Right.
was saying earlier about like the black and the white and the bubbles um and the speech or whatever, like I
Mm-hmm.
really do feel like that, like the black represents like those deep desires and those deep emotions. And because you can see that on
Mm-hmm.
Yoshiki's part where he's like harping over like what's her name has said about moving forward. And like you
Mm-hmm.
can see like his emotions just like kind of seeping out of his body and like, you know, like how he's feeling. And so like this part where Hikaru's like, I know it's not right, but I still like you and I can't stop my feelings. Like that is so pure and raw and real. And I absolutely love all of that. And then you can see like at the end too, where all of like this monster part of him or cool thing or whatever it is
Mm-hmm.
like
Mm-hmm.
he's had so much. Like he's tried to be super patient. He's kept all of this in, but then it all like finally explodes and he's like letting it out, like
Right.
he's letting that rawness
Right.
out and like those human emotions and feelings and deep dark desires and all of that, like he finally is like he's letting him know how he feels after he's tried to be patient and stuff. I feel like he
Mhm.
like all of that just kind of explodes. But Yoshiki is also like shown his own emotions too finally at this point. Like he's finally come to terms and
Mhm.
is like being real and is like letting out his frustrations like for the first time really with Hikaru. So this is like and it's the ending of it, but this is my absolute favorite part because I feel like this is the
Right.
realest part in the book. Like with everything, like everything kind of comes to a head with this.
Mm-hmm.
Love it. Right.
Carly, you're okay.
Oh, I hate it that we had because like you get to read 2 and 3 together, But when me and Brent, I'm like,
I
what the
know it
fuck is
ended.
it? Like,
Uh,
and why is it 6 months before we get another fucking one?
Yeah.
Like,
I think
it was
this last
an
panel
emotional roller
too
coaster.
is a double meaning. Like I don't think that it's just like as it reads. Like that one with that you can't keep being with your friend like this. I think that's a double. Like I think it means like sense where like you can't be with him like this because the goal and he could possibly
Right.
kill you and it's not actually your friend. But I think it also means like this
You
relationship
can't
that
just
you
keep.
all had as
mhm.
like best friends where there was nothing at stake and you were
It was
just like
easy,
at
like,
terms as friends.
mhm.
Yeah.
It has
Staying in your
clearly
comfort
escalated
zone,
from
right?
that, and there are other feelings
Mhm.
and other things at play here. So, like what you all
Mhm.
used to be and what you all once were, it's not going to be able to continue like that. Like you all are both going to have to come
Okay.
to terms with this growing
Every.
into something else. And so either it's going to be something that breaks you or it's going to be something that you all grow from and
Mhm.
becomes like something beautiful.
Mhm.
But I definitely feel like this right here is like it's not just like surface level. Like it definitely has more than one meaning.
Mhm.
I love it.
100%.
Amazing. So yeah, that's. I think that's it.
Such a good
So, but yes, definitely feel like worth picking up, worth seeing how it ends. It's consistently stays good, like especially like the last few
one.
panels and every single book. It's like got you like, like, are you serious? Like we were, we're gonna end like this for real? Okay, especially the second book. You're like, oh, okay, what the hell just happened? Why are these babies doing this? Like, oh my goodness, but yes, I'm definitely please people give it and don't let the relationship whatever a lot of people like are not into BL. I get that, or like any queer literature, but don't don't shy away because you're gonna miss a beautiful story. You
Yeah.
see what I'm saying? Like,
Mhm. And the thing is,
Honestly,
it's a human experience. Like, this is a
yes.
mhm,
real human
Yeah.
experience. It might not be
that part.
your
Say it again,
experience,
baby.
but
Exactly.
that's what literature and art is for, is to see things through other people's perspectives. And
Yeah.
this story does that so well, while
Yes.
also being a really compelling and amazing horror thriller. It has those
Mhm.
undertones of this very real human experience while
Hmm.
having that supernatural element to it. It's fantastic.
Yeah. I
Yes.
would like it gets all the stars from me. And
Mhm.
so first of all, I want to say if you allow that to
Uh-oh. She got so angry she
Yeah,
disappeared.
she did. That's my girl. But no, I totally understand what Angela's about to say. If you allow something like that to stop you from reading something so beautiful, then you got some fucking problems. But I understand, like some people
yeah.
are like, oh, BL, like that's not their cup of tea.
Yeah.
But
But it's not even like outward. I mean, it's not like in your like it's not like in your like it's not like shoving it down. Like there's so much more you can take from the story than just that. Like they are
absolutely.
very subtle. Like
Hmm.
it's very intentional, but it's very subtle in the um
Hmm.
at the same time. But if you are gonna allow yourself to shy away from that because of that like element that's that's in that, then you don't.
Hmm.
I don't feel like you deserve the beauty of what you're going to get from
That
the
part.
story.
That's what I was saying. Right. You don't deserve to
Yeah.
experience this, So, and I'm so happy that they did make it. They brought it into the Western and they adapted to English so I can experience something this beautiful because
Yes.
it lived up to the hype. It definitely lived up to the hype. So I'm excited to own all of them and to keep talking about this years from now. So
And I'm so excited
this
for the
part,
anime. I'm
Oh
so
my
oh,
god.
excited.
so
I
excited.
cannot
It's going to
wait.
be great. We have to watch it together. Like, we have to watch it and
Yeah.
experience some of it together.
Yeah.
So
I would
maybe
love
we can even
that.
come back and like compare some of the stuff that happens. And if hopefully they don't change up too much. Like, anime and manga usually stick hand in hand. They're not like us where we just go fucking left. We already got a good story, but let's go this way, with it. So,
Yeah.
but
Yeah, with
I'm
source
excited.
material that's good, you can't you
Yes.
just can't
Right,
deviate.
right.
Yeah.
Ugh. But yeah,
My
I hope
girls, I'm
you guys
so
think.
sorry. I have like 3% battery left, so my phone is
Yeah.
probably
So
dead.
we'll
We
wrap
just
it
made
up.
it.
Yes. Yes. So thank you guys for sticking with us and, all the craziness that Melanin Manga brings to you.
I'm so
Okay.
sorry.
Brandy, thank you. We love you. We appreciate you. And then hopefully we can come back in the middle of this month and do some real
Yeah.
gay shit, okay?
Brandy, is there
Give me
anything
that
that you
real
want to
gay
Gay
highlight?
shit
shit. A real gay shit, okay? But
that I
no,
wanna. I'm sorry, what'd you say, Angela?
Is there anything that you want to highlight that you're doing
yeah.
coming up?
Oh, girl, no. I'm just living my quiet life over here, reading my little books all by myself. But
Yeah.
I'm so appreciative that you guys let me come on and talk about this book because it is
Always,
really one
always. If
of my
there's something you want to
highlights of
talk
the last
about
year.
and you want to do, you let us know. We
For
there.
sure.
Whatever you want to do. For
We
sure.
love
Like,
you.
you
And I
you are
appreciate
peoples.
and
We love you.
I love coming on here with you guys and actually talking through things because it brings so much
Hmm.
more to the story than I had the first time around.
Hmm.
So it's always so much fun
Yeah.
to hear what you guys have to
Yeah.
say.
I want to eat your pancreas. It's always going to mean so much to me because of the experience that we had together.
Yeah.
And that's what I just love about books. Like, it brings people together. Like, it can start something so much bigger. A conversation leads into a friendship leads into many years of memories and all this shit. And I love it. So I'll always be appreciative to this. So yeah. We appreciate our chat. We appreciate anybody that watches the rewind. Let people know that we're here. Spread the word about this beautiful book because it deserves eyeballs and it deserves all the
Go
praise.
read
So
this. Go read this right now.
Please do. You will not be disappointed. Like you absolutely will not. I only had one gripe about it, and it wasn't even like a big gripe because
right,
it's made up for throughout the book.
that
So
part, that part.
it's like very, very
Yes,
kind.
yes. But we love and appreciate your technical difficulties.
Thank
But
you.
yes, yes. Thank
Thanks,
you for dealing
guys.
with that. We love y'all.
Love you guys.
Peace.
Bye.
Bye.